All they ever wanted was the real me. Heal me, feel me. All they ever wanted was the real me. Broken butterfly, why you wanna cry? Broken butterfly, just dream high. Go real high, dream to the sky. Broken butterfly, why you wanna cry? Life is fucked up, it left me fucked up. It left me praying, screaming on my knees, fucked up. While my kidneys had to fail, haters
What's up, what's up, what's up?
That nigga had to play me, he was fucked up. Daddy was a dope dealer, real nigga. Uncle was a coke dealer, real killer.
What's up?
Keys at the door, I was 3.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What's up? First of all, I just want to say I'm shouting out this episode. I'm dedicating this episode to a fallen butterfly. Her name is Shania. So, I'm not this usually down, but I'm going to definitely make sure I bring you guys a quality dope conversation today, but it's definitely a rough one. So I appreciate y'all. I see all the support and all the love, so I definitely appreciate y'all so much. Shout out to everybody out there that's going through a loss right now, and that's just like finding the strength to just move forward and just being able to just, get the job done. If I'm gonna say anything, I'm gonna say we the real MVPs because it's real hard. This is not regular. You're not supposed to be, burying friends like this before the age of 30. And it's not regular. But shout out to everybody out there that's definitely going through it. We definitely all in this together, all right?
Yes!
All right, so tonight is all about Raquel. We're getting to know Raquel, all right, from the hit Netflix show 20-something. We got Raquel in the house tonight. Okay, so let's get this live up and running. We haven't been here for a few weeks, and I know it's, not such a positive vibe to be coming back on, but we are definitely going to have a great show tonight.
Yes!
And we're here to definitely answer these questions and get the conversations rolling.
Yes.
All right, so let's get Miss Raquel on the line. How we doing, everybody? I see y'all in here. What's up? Oh, there she goes. What's up, Raquel?
Hi, how are you?
Good, I'm good. Welcome to Black Culture, The Breakdown.
Good. Happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, thank you for definitely being here. First of all, you're beautiful.
Thank you so much, my king. Thank you. Handsome
Yeah.
king. Period.
Definitely, all right. So, of course, your people's already going crazy. Rocky, Raquel, they love you. First of all, congratulations on being on a hit show.
Thank you. Wow.
Let's just take that in for a second. Have you taken a moment to process that you are on a major Netflix show right now?
I don't think so. Sometimes it hits me, but for the most part, everything honestly still feels like a very surreal, kind of distant dream. So I'm just very grateful for every breath, every moment, because this is honestly just very surreal.
Very surreal. So let's bring it back to the beginning for people that don't necessarily understand your journey. How did you decide to say, all right, I'm going to do a reality show? Like, how did you even get that mindset?
That's crazy. Honestly, I was really stuck in 2021. I felt like my life was going nowhere, and this very beautiful woman named Jean, she DM'd me on Instagram, and she was like, "Hi, I think you would be an amazing competitor. A spot just opened up for this show that's about to start filming very, very soon. I think you should apply." And I was like, "Are you trying to sell me into sex trafficking?" I was like, this one of them crazy DMs. But she dropped a whole bunch of like links and, people with credentials. And I was like, oh, okay, this is legit. So as soon as I saw all of that information, I was like, oh no, this is my time. So I was like, you know what? This is once in a lifetime. I might as well. And I just like, we're in a pandemic. What else could go wrong? Something might go right. Might as well. So I just decided to try it.
So pre-pandemic, you had no inclinations that you were even going to do any TV, nothing.
No, not a chance. Like, that's crazy. Isn't that crazy?
That's absolutely crazy. And now look at you. So now, first of all, 20 something was on Netflix's top 10. Okay. Like, that is mind blowing, which means people were constantly streaming and watching the show. Um, Even from when I reached out to you, when the show was first out, I even just watched your followers grow and just watched the support for you grow to now to now we're on the show and I'm like, wow, it's even crazy. You know what I'm saying? So people are loving the show and they're loving you. Do you feel like you loved the experience?
I did. I felt like before I got there, it was a moment for me to figure out who I was. And I was like trying to figure out who I was. And I'm like, I was 25 when I got there, and I turned 26 after I left. So in that in between phase, I kind of like got my footing for like who I want to become. And so this experience kind of helped me mold, my hard yeses and my hard nos. So it was literally one for the books. I was taken out of my element and thrown into something completely different and new for me, and I was just like, God help me. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So no regrets. None at all.
Definitely. Well, let's bring it back for everybody that definitely wants to know, because I'm sure everybody wants to know. All right, you get into the house. You're the second person to show up. What is your first impression of the crib? Like, are you like, all right, this is a vibe?
Yes, I was nervous. I was like, what are these bedrooms looking like? I was really nervous. I thought the guys were going to be in our house. And I don't know. I'm really kind of like closed off to new male attention. So I'm like, mm. But when I found out it was just a girl's house, I was like, excuse my language, F yes. I was like, okay, we cool. I can walk around in my bonnet. I'm gonna be, you know. And so that was fun. But I was really, really nervous. Like being the second person in the house, I was like, no guys are here yet. I was really, really nervous. But yeah, that was a really cool plot twist. I was like, two houses, okay.
I was actually like, yeah, I was intrigued by how they definitely switched it up. Well, you come in and you actually saved the day because she couldn't get into the house. Actually, had to open the lock. I was like, that's interesting. And you said that you were 25 and you're into IT. And I was like, nah, that makes sense. Tell us about your journey. What is IT for people that don't even know what that is?
Information technology. Wow. Okay. So, IT for me, the definition is just like diving into a digital world. And so for Black women, that's kind of like a space that's like almost uncharted territory. We're definitely there, but not enough of us are there. So this was such a wonderful experience for me because I was like, hopefully, some Black women who are in IT feel empowered to, either speak up about their positions or strive for higher positions. And I was just really excited to showcase what it actually meant to be a Black woman in IT. There are very few of our brown faces in there. So that was like something that was really near and dear to my heart. It's such an amazing space to be in. There's so much money and opportunity in the IT space. Black women, you don't need to have a degree to hop into IT. You can get certification on top of certification on top of certification. I'm talking
Yes.
2 years or less, and you're making close to like six figures. So I would definitely recommend it. But I thought this was a great platform for me to be able to share that knowledge and that wealth and just be the face of opportunity and representation, because sometimes younger Black girls, we don't see that. And so I was really excited to be that because, when you don't see something growing up, you kind of want to be like, whoa, what's going on? So, yeah.
Well, no, I definitely feel like you were a really a dope spokesmodel for IT women, especially in the Black space for women. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not representation for that. So it was dope. And you just, and first of all, I feel like the epitome of an IT woman is not necessarily what maybe people think you would be. So it's interesting that you represented for, you know, I feel like so many different aspects. So shout out to you for that. Yes. All right. So now you get into the house, and let's get back into it. You get into the house, and then now your impression of the house is like it's a dope vibe and it's split. Okay. So now you famously said, let's expect the unexpected, right? What do you want to accomplish out of the house? Like, how long were you guys there, number one?
We were there for like roughly 3 months.
3 months. So what were you trying to accomplish in the 3 months that you were there?
Oh, wow, that's such a good question. In the 3 months that I was there, I was hoping, well, for a little bit of background, I work for a startup IT company. I was hoping to like put down some roots for our company in a different city. And for those of you who don't know, Silicon Valley was in California. And when the IT industry started booming and, you know, like things like Google and Tesla and all that good stuff moved to Austin, Texas, it kind of took Silicon Valley and they moved it to Texas, Austin, Texas. And so they kind of called it like Silicon Ranch instead of Valley. And so I thought that was really cool. And I was like, well, I'm in IT. This is the new like hub for IT. What better way for me to represent the company that took a chance on me than to take a chance on them, you know, promoting them in a brand new, thriving, bustling city? And so that was like my main goal. I was hoping to make connections and put some groundwork down for our company. And it's called the Launchpad. It's amazing. But what happened was COVID, and it was just really hard to get into tech conferences and be a representative and a spokesperson for our company during the pandemic because so many people were dying. And, you know, you don't want to be in spaces with people when you don't have to necessarily. And so what they did was they cut down a lot of the in-person interaction, and it became more of like virtual conferences and things like that. So it was more invite only, and I didn't realize that until after I got there. So it was really hard for me to try to, you know, do what I set out to do. But, you know, you wiggle around
No,
certain roadblocks.
no, I understand. I understand. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like the show did a good job of capturing what you were trying to do with IT?
I think that the world of IT is way, way too big to be captured in a 30-minute increment of time. And so for most people, maybe that might have been boring. So, you know, for what it's worth, I feel like they put a focus on things that might have grabbed the attention of audience members. And, you know, that doesn't bother me. You know, I was there on a mission anyway. So it is what it is. But
All right. So then now let's get into like the first episode. You know, you guys are all, oh, y'all went grocery shopping. The fans want to know, do they give you guys money or did you guys have to spend your own money?
it was a little bit of both. We definitely had per diem, but for the most part, you were on your own. So we were all struggling 20 somethings, scraping
Okay.
up change, you know.
So, so then just correct me if I'm wrong. So you guys are all just 20 something. You guys are all in the house, but it's split, girls and guys. But you guys aren't given any like. There's no grand prize. There's no nothing like that. You guys are just left to figure it out, and the cameras are just there to follow you.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, girl, no, we did not have to pay rent.
I had to pay rent. That is so funny. No, yeah, that okay. I'm glad y'all didn't have to pay rent, okay? Because that would really be really bad.
Mm-mm.
No. All right. So, all right. So now let's get into Michael. Right. Uh, Initially, that was kind of who you were like, kind of going for in a way, you know.
Uh,
But then you realized that he wasn't necessarily. You said a wall goes back up when you're trying to have a conversation with him. Was Michael the first person that you really felt like you really wanted to go for, or was that just something that you said because of how things turned out?
Let me take a sip of wine first, and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. Okay, now that we're back, we met the guys on the balcony. So I met all of them in a short period of time, and I thought that all of them were handsome. Like all four of the guys, extremely handsome.
Okay.
Um, that being said, um, off rip, just knowing my type, which I definitely said on camera, Kamari was the first person that caught my attention.
Okay.
However, when you're in spaces, and have you ever been like the only black person in a space? And then you see one more black person in a space and you don't ever want to do too much.
No.
So it worked out in our favor. Yes, it did. But I definitely saw him first. I was like, oh. But I was trying to get to know all the guys in the house. But when I initially saw that someone else decided to cling to Kamari, Abby was like, oh, I like her. I was like, by all means, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing, chicken wing, whatever floats your boat, rock the boat.
Now,
You know what I'm saying? So
now
I
let me,
never want to be too forthcoming. And I just kind of like let everything happen with us organically and naturally. And that ended up working in our favor. So.
okay. So now let me ask you a perspective question. Now, did you feel like by him going for the Caucasian girl, did that make you kind of look at him like, just from now, this before him and her went left, sour, whatever, just the fact that he decided to go for the Caucasian girl, did that make you have an eyebrow raised?
Um, Honestly, no, because our first day meeting each other, we clicked instantly. And there are just certain things that you can't see from the show, but there are 24 hours in a day, you know what I mean? And what the camera captures is probably like an eighth of that 24 hours. And so what I saw from him, I'd no, it didn't make me raise an eyebrow because we were attracted to each other instantly and we felt that and we saw that and it was instant. But, like you never want to play it too hard, too rushed. Like you don't want to rush anything. And so when that happened, I didn't think anything of it. At that point, we were friends and I was just like, you know what, do your thing. You know what I mean? It was 2021 at the time. And I was like, do what you do and do it well. But there were certain instances where I was talking to her. I was like, girl, I would never let this happen if that were me. Like if he would have kissed the, you know what I'm saying? Okay, because
Okay. I understand. I understand.
so
Yes. Okay. Now, all right. They actually get into a situationship, right? It's not a relationship, but they definitely more than friends. Now, was the whole house awkward, or was it a situation that you guys are like, yo, we can all just be cool, or at points was it really awkward?
um no, it was never really awkward. They were never monogamous. They were never exclusive. We had girls' nights where we talked about the guys we were talking to. I went on a couple dates prior to dating Kamari, and um, I almost called him babe. That's weird. There were some nights where we would just talk as like the four of us, and we just talk about the guys that we were talking about, and sometimes she would talk about him. And at that time, he was still my friend. Yes, I was attracted to him, but he was just my friend. And I could differentiate between, my attraction to him and my friendship with him. And so it was just like listening to her, just speak casually about him. But, you know, she was talking to, you know, a couple of guys. And so it was never like, I never felt like I was overstepping a boundary of like, you know, like the girl code where it's like, this is my man and don't cross that line, because we definitely had that conversation. And she was cool with it. I was cool with it. He was cool with it, obviously. And so um, it just never made an awkward moment. There was like a bit of, I don't want to call it tension, but there was a bit of a bump to get over transitioning into that new space, with us being exclusive, because I don't share. I don't do the friends with benefits. I don't, you know, that's just because I like to take my earrings off and put my hair tie on, and I like to fight. So, you know.
I understand. I understand.
So we had to let down them ground rules, and I had to ask him, you know, are y'all done? Or are y'all, like, I had to move my bangs. Are y'all done? Because doop, doop. And so, you know, I made sure that was clear before we even like started a real foundation. And so nothing was ever awkward, and she supported it fully. And, you know, she moved on when she talked to Adam, and then, you know, another gentleman after that. So it was all wonderful and daisies and rosy.
Okay.
Daisies and rosies. I tried the flowers.
Now, now I'm gonna say with my with my observation though, it seems like you didn't have a lot of conversations with Abby.
Mm.
Um, you know what I'm saying? So was just her personality just not your necessarily like I guess cup of tea, because you and Isha was like this, you know what I'm saying? So you can sip your wine, I can understand. No, but what would you say was the reason that you guys didn't have so much? I'm gonna give you this, and I'm gonna give you an out. So much on camera chemistry.
Um, I don't think that we didn't have on camera chemistry. For the most part, we just like ran in different circles, and our interests didn't, you know, collide as much. She's not as into fashion. And although I'm not, I'm starting a clothing line. So I gravitated towards Isha. You know, Isha and I are both brown girls. So we
Yeah.
clicked instantly. Natalie and I are both women of color with curly hair. We clicked instantly. And, you know, just with different interests come different relationships. And, you know, Abby and I formed a relationship over chips, and it was really funny because she taught me that even if chips are undercooked in oil, you can put them in the oven and the oil cooks off, like, I mean, the oven cooks off all the oil and they're crispy again. So it's like, I was like, oh, okay girl, thank you, period, you know what I mean? So things like that, here and there. There's never any beef, no tension, none of that, but like, you know, you just form closer bonds with certain people, and then other people you're just cool with, and, you know, it is what
Definitely.
it.
Definitely. Okay. All right. So now another question. Do you feel we're coming off a really social justice, you know, year and a revolutionary year for like black businesses, black women, just black people in general. Do you feel like there was anybody in the house that did not understand the black culture?
um I'm gonna be very honest. Besides Kamari, no one understood.
Mm,
If you're not black, you don't understand. And I'm really sorry to say that as flat and as blatantly as I did, but that's the truth. If you're not black, you will never understand. But you can gather intel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get bits and pieces. And I think for the
mm,
most part, mostly everyone was open to gathering bits and pieces of what it's like to be us in this nation. And I think that's another reason why I gravitated to Kamari as quickly as I did, because outside of just being a woman in the house, like, he was the only person that I could find refuge in, because he was the only other black person like in our space. And so no, no one will ever understand what it's like to be us. And I will say that with my whole chest every time, because our experience in this nation is so unique. And you just don't understand if you're not Black. And I'm so sorry if anyone's offended, but I'm not sorry because it's the truth, you know?
The truth. It's the truth. And that was well said. Yes. You know, and I say this, I appreciate you for not going. I know you said you like to fight. Bah, bah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, you should a shooter. But you know, yo, you represented for Black girls so dope on that show, and you didn't have to act ratchet or have to do nothing out of character. You really did that. You know what I'm saying? And you really should. So now let's get into some of the other roommates. I feel like let's move on from the Abby and Kamari situation now, and let's get into Michael and Isha. You know what I'm saying? They were definitely fan favorites as a couple. You know what I'm saying? What were your initial thoughts on them getting together? And people want to know, are they still together now?
Ooh, the Mishas. So I was very, very excited. I knew that Michael and I were going to be really, really, really good friends after we went shopping. That shopping trip solidified it. He's really, really funny, and I was really, really excited to get to know him better. And then when Isha expressed her interest in him, it already clicked in my head because I'm just the friend that's always going to instantly wing woman. And so I was like, sis, hold up, because I got you. If this the man you want, let me help you out, okay? And they click really well. Like, it's almost like puzzle piece match perfect because they just complement each other so well. And I would never be like when someone's like, well, I talk to him, I don't want you to talk to him. I think that's petty. I think that's childish. If he serves no purpose for me, why would I hold you back?
I got you.
And I think that's something that our generation almost struggles with because it's almost like, I don't know. It's like an entitlement. If I've had it, it's always mine. And I don't have that ideology. I honestly think that anything that no longer serves me is open to whoever, whatever, whenever, wherever. And if it's going to serve you, I want you to have it. I want you to have them. And when that happened between them two, I was really, really, really happy because it fits. And to even think about what it would be like for me to be like, no, Isha, I don't want you to talk to him because I found him attractive, would be the same way as if Oscar was like into Kiki and I'm like, no, Oscar, I don't want you to talk to him because I think Kiki's attractive. Like, you just don't do that. And so I was really, really, really happy and over the moon to see that they were gonna continue. And here's the bomb drop. Yes, they're still together. They're thriving. They're beautiful. They're healthy, and they're very much,
Yes. You here for that, all right? So, here for that. So now, when Bruce decided to leave, how did that actually make you guys feel? Like, did you feel like he was like, I can't do this with y'all. I gotta go. Or, or was he really just like homesick and just really was missing his family?
I definitely think he was homesick. Prior to telling anyone but Kiki, you could just kind of see it on his face. It wasn't meant for him. And I think that's okay. I think that's absolutely fine. And sometimes you have to make hard decisions. And I think it takes a really big person to make a really hard decision. And I think he did that gracefully. And so I was really happy to see him make a leap that was beneficial to him. And so, that gave us courage to, be ourselves. So
Yeah, so that was code for, well, he decided to dip, so that's what he do. We decided to stay, so that's what we decide to do, all right? Yes. So and we said we are definitely moving on to the new roommate. So when the new roommate moved in, remind me of his name again. All right, yes.
I'm sorry, Adam.
I remember it. I remember it. Adam. You know what I'm saying? Because no, Bruce, for me, the original is always is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
Adam was dope. He came in, and I definitely felt like he flipped up the house. You know what I'm
He
saying? He
did.
flipped the house. You mind your business. You ain't call no dibs on Adam. But there was a little beef between Natalie and Abby.
Mhm.
What were your thoughts, just on the bystander watching it? What were your thoughts, just looking at it?
Give me 1 second. Um, Me personally, um, it wasn't my cup of tea, but different strokes for different folks. I think a lot of people have different definitions of things, and for me, um, the term friend almost has a very thin line linked to respect. And so for my friends, I have a lot of respect for them. And there are just certain things that I won't do without, you know, conversations, permission, you know what I'm saying? Like a heart to heart. And I don't know what their dynamic was at that point. So I can't really speak on it because it's not me. It would never have been me. That's clearly not what you saw because I wasn't in it. So I just I have to, kind of take a sip of my wine and step back and be like, honey boo boo child.
But you know what? You know what I feel like? I feel like nobody cared about Adam, and that was not cool. You know what I'm saying? And Adam is allowed to make a choice on who he wants to go for and
Mhm.
who to deal with. And I feel like nobody was advocating for Adam. So justice for Adam in that situation, because I feel like from a man's point of view, it's like, so who even said that I even wanted to go for Natalie?
That's a good point. I also will say that there were a lot of, let me not get myself in trouble. There were a lot of um there were a lot of instances prior to the melting pot, like, bubbling over, where things could have been stopped, in my opinion. And that's just me looking from the outside in. And so I never want to hold the man to a standard where he's not meant to be held in a situation like that.
Kiki's in the
Uh,
building.
would you say,
Building.
period? But I will say that for the most part, it there was a lot of clear communication between everyone on everything that was going on. So, it is what it is.
Okay, if there's clear communication, now I do feel like the scene that they actually had that clear communication, um, it it was intense because I didn't expect it to go that way. I don't think anybody at home watching expected it to go that way. But did you feel like they were crocodile tears, or did you feel like she was being genuine and really meant what she was saying?
Um, I don't know. I Hi Kiki, I love you. Period. That's Daddy K in the building. Sorry. I don't feel like I'm ever put on this earth to judge anyone's actions. And even if I were to be like, they were fake, they could have very well been real, you know? So I don't feel like that's my place to judge. Not you taking a sip. But I will say that I think that it was a learning lesson, and hopefully looking back on that situation, from both parties, someone can learn what not to do as a friend moving forward, and someone can learn what to expect and what not to tolerate from a friend moving forward. So I don't think anything of what the situation was. I try to look for what can I learn from it, because it happened, it's done, it's set in stone. So it's not my place to say it was real or fake. I'm just looking at it like, how can I learn from this? And if I were in both positions, what would I take from it? And the first thing that I would take is be a good friend and don't take wooden nickels from bad friends. So
Gotcha.
I'll say
Gotcha.
that.
All right. Now, I feel like, well said. Okay. That's why you're the queen. All right. So I want to get into Natalie. You know what I'm saying? Natalie did a lot of things, that a black woman maybe wouldn't do. Um, so you know what? Maybe I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say a black woman wouldn't do it. I'm just gonna say that you wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Um, what were your thoughts on just her going to meet up with the guy that was sending her the DP? What were your thoughts on, her messing around with the guy and him standing her up the next day and then or the following days after? Just her bad luck with men the entire season. What were your thoughts on that?
Um, what's really crazy is, okay, I first want to start off by saying the only reason why I would not have met up with DP guy, dick pic guy, is because I got my first dick pic in like eighth grade or ninth grade, and I understood and I learned from that scenario that unsolicited dick pics are not men that's not a guy you want to be with. He's shooting for anything, and he's hoping that he can grab whatever he reels in. So I learned that, excuse me, early. And so for her to not have ever had a boyfriend, I don't expect for her to know that. And I told her that, as a friend, I feel like it's your duty to be like, this is what I know, sis. Don't make the same mistakes I made. And if you do, this is what you can expect. But furthermore, um, I definitely think there are some lessons that you can get from other people, and then I think that there are some lessons that life just has to teach you. And I think that that was one of those lessons. I don't think that she didn't learn that lesson. I think she understands now what it means to um, request, that type of energy from a man versus having it being thrown on you like a freaking TNT bomb. So I'll say that. But also, there's so much that people didn't get to see. She went on so many dates. And then there were so many guys that wanted to go on dates with her, but she couldn't date because they didn't want to be filmed. And so it was like she had to turn them down. So I think that there's always that interesting juxtaposition where you have to realize that the camera only captures what it can capture, and behind the scenes there are just a lot of things that you will never know and never see, and those things would honestly have to be me watching Natalie's phone blow up while I'm venting to her about how my toenail broke, and she's like, girl, give me 1 second, I gotta tell him I can't meet him on Saturday. And I'm like, girl, I'm trying to vent. And she got the babies, and so I was like, wait a minute, why they not showing these babies? But I'm like, I get it, but there are just certain things that they couldn't capture, and so I understand. But like, it's like for them to be like, "Oh, she had bad luck with men." I'm like, please, she got options. Like she got
So
options.
do you feel like the show was trying to create a narrative then of, because I felt like you were definitely the way that they portrayed you, you were like the fly, you know what I'm saying? Like always looking, but that's on you because you look fly, that's how you look. Camera's gonna show camera, you know what I'm saying? So and when you don't do stuff that's considered like, huh? You don't get put in that situation. But do you feel like the cameras were trying to, portray somebody as a certain character?
Um, in a way, yes,
Okay.
but that's the industry, and I'm not mad at it. However, it's not even necessarily their fault. There's just some things that honestly would not make sense to the audience unless they were looking at it through our lens. And to
Hmm.
look at it through our lens, you would have to be there 24/7. And so there are some things that they probably could have put in, but they wouldn't make sense to y'all because y'all would be like, and it would be like us at a mall somewhere starting the conversation on one of our off days filming, and then it becoming relevant 3 days later while we're filming, but them not having the context to make it relevant. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And so I get why a lot of things didn't make it, but ultimately I just have to chalk it up to always remembering the camera only captures a very small percentage of what is actually filmed while you're making something like this. So
Definitely. And that's what's interesting. Did you feel like what they put together for you? I just saw someone's comment. Just the pod said you deserve more showtime. I definitely felt like your storyline picked up in like episode 7, and then they really zoned into you. But do you feel like what they put together as your representation for season 1 is everything that you wanted it to be, based
um
off that you filmed, based off of what you filmed?
um I don't think any of us would say that our expectations versus the reality is what we expected. So I will say no, because, we filmed so much. We filmed a crap ton of stuff, and only like this much of it made the cut. So I'll say no. But I will also say that everything done, everything said, everything set in stone, I don't regret the way that it came out, because at this point, I feel like what the audience says to me still, even today, like they're like, I wanted to see more of you. I didn't see enough of you. I feel like you should have got more time. And I'm like,
Yes.
my thought process is, honestly, honest to goodness, is thought that you would even want to see me makes my heart swell, and it almost makes me want to cry. I'm like, that is just the sweetest thing ever. And so I never feel any type of way about not being seen, because the people that wanted to see me made it a point to tell me that they wanted to see me. And so if I wasn't seen, you were still thinking about me, and that means the world to me. So I don't feel any type of way about it. I just think it's very, very sweet. And I absolutely love the support and the thoughtfulness of the people that would even come out of come out of their shell to say that. Like, how thoughtful. Girl, I wanted to see more of you. Where were you? Wait a minute. Girl, no, let me buy you a car. I ain't got enough money, but let me try.
Listen, it seems like you have been born for this. Like, you do not seem like this is your first show. It doesn't seem like you just came out of nowhere and just blew up. It seems like you were born for this, and you were a natural on TV. Kiki, you still in the comments? We're gonna get into Kiki now. I want to ask you this. Uh, when Kiki was dating Oscar, did you feel like Oscar used Kiki for camera time, or do you feel like he genuinely was like, I don't know if I can handle this? Or do you, what are your thoughts on that? Because I actually rewatched it and my perspective changed.
Mm, um, Look at Kiki now. Oh no. Okay, Kiki, I'm not gonna put you on blast, but I got you. What I will say is that, again, with that thing I was telling you about there being so much more that was filmed that wasn't shown. Um, he they didn't. It wasn't like a fling. It was well over more than half of our experience there that they were talking together, a thing, an item. And so the tears that you saw from Keanu were not crocodile tears of someone that has gone on a date with someone twice. It's Those were like the tears of someone who opened up their heart to someone for the first time on camera with the same sex, when it's not considered acceptable in their society for where he was like raised, you know what I'm saying? And it was in a different city. Like those three factors, they weigh in on you so heavily. And I don't think people realize that, but he, those tears weren't like, oh, my first crush doesn't like me. It was like, I opened myself up to you. I did it on camera. I did it in a new city. And I did it with the same sex, even though that's against what everything that I was taught. And
Mhm.
he did all of that for like 2.5 months before that situationship ended. And so the tears that everyone saw, those were tears of like deep, deep, deep sorrow. And I don't want to say a first love because I don't want to speak for Kiki's feelings. I don't ever want to speak for anyone's feelings, but it was it hurt my heart because you can relate to the first time your heart's ever broken, whether it be in love or in like or just your first experience with feeling that for someone. And my heart broke for him because I understood that and I felt that. But to understand that when I felt it, I was in high school and I had no concept of the world. And to understand that he felt that at 28 with full knowledge of self and self awareness and, his identity in the world, it hurt way more for me, for him. And so I just would really hope that people wouldn't look at him and go, oh, he's crying over nothing. I would hope that they would look at him and go, I feel you. I see you. I understand you. And so um, in that moment, I thanked Oscar because so many people would have strung Kiki along and been like, yeah, the cameras, let's do it. Let me take your virginity. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And he was like, I hear you, Kiki. I see what you're looking for. I know what you're looking for. I don't think I'm what you're looking for. And I don't want to hinder you. And so I respected that from him. And I just wanted to let Kiki know this is your first, but baby, you are handsome, you are fine, you are fly, and it will damn sure not be your last. So if you're going to cry your tears, cry, but know that you're going to come out victorious from this situation. And so that's how I felt about that. But
Okay. I, I understand, but I just feel like the way that Oscar went about that, knowing that it's being filmed and it's on camera, Kiki is definitely on the sensitive side. So it's like to do something like that, you already know you about to make him look a certain type of way on TV. Yes. So I just felt like, and that been basically validated that it was 2.5 months. It almost felt like you did that to basically figure out how to get the biggest sting of a storyline out of a person's character that you knew was basically being completely honest and vulnerable in a first time situation with you, again, on TV. Yes. But
yeah.
Kiki, definitely with you, man. I rock with you. And I appreciate the love in the comments. Well, let's get on to this now. Kamari. Okay. Um, you actually was like, I ain't get to put moves on him yet. You know what I'm saying? You ain't get to put the moves on him. Abby and him are no more, and now it's you and Kamari. Let's get into it. How did you decide that you was like, yo, I think I actually like this dude?
Um, if I can keep it a buck, because I'm always keep it a buck. We were always like attracted to each other, but it didn't really become a super, 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 like I didn't want to pursue anything with him. He was just an attractive friend to me. I didn't want to pursue anything until I saw how his mind worked a little bit more. And we talked about a lot of things that we had in common, being Black and from the South. We talked about how much we love to journal and manifest and talking about our um, religious backgrounds and how our love and respect for culture, family, etc., kind of like pushed us forward. That definitely drew me to him. And so the night at the Coconut Club, I was like, wait a minute, this little pink and purple light, coupled with me knowing how you feel about the Lord.
Yes. Speak on it.
And the muscles. And you smelling like Creed. I was like, okay, let me calm down. But, oh my gosh, can I have 1 second? I have to use the restroom.
Go ahead. Use the restroom real quick, everybody. But if y'all are tuning in, welcome to Black Culture The Breakdown. We do have the lovely Raquel in the building. She's just not here right now. She just got to use the restroom. But we getting into Kamari right now. So if you just tuning in, you coming in at the right time. Don't go nowhere. We about to get into it. Any questions y'all want me to ask, just leave it in the comments, okay? And then, in addition to that, hit the follow button. It's free. Yes. Okay? I definitely do a whole bunch of dope interviews. And as we can tell, we about to get into it right now, all right? Somebody said, take some audience questions, please. All right, I got you. Sis was sipping too much. Raquel, they say you were sipping too much. We say what? The lights coupled with the love for the Lord. We love to see it. That's cool. Sis was sipping. Yeah, she was sipping. Let me see. Muscles, the edge of the sea. Roxy got mad game. Kamari went from being fuckboy to husband real quick. Take a sip. Y'all be going crazy, yo. Y'all really are fans of the show. Y'all really be going crazy. Are they together? Yo, I'm about to get there. I got you. Listen. Oh, she back. You gotta behave.
I'm sorry. I just had some water with my supplements, and I just had to go. Okay, sorry.
Good. Let me just reintroduce everybody. Welcome back to Black Culture The Breakdown. We got the lovely Raquel in the building. It's all good. Me and the peoples was talking. You know, the show are in right now, and they like to ask her this, ask her that. Oh yeah, get back to what you were saying.
Yeah, the purple and pink light was hitting Bay, and I was like, I said, let me move my bangs and make sure he's single. But yeah, I had a Hennessy lemonade in my system, and then you know where I messed up? I had a vodka cran, and that's where we started, when the real feelings start coming out. He said, Miss Roxy, and I was like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what's going on, sir?
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, so that's how that started. But yeah.
So I know, like, he cooked, you know what I'm saying, and you famously said again, for me, only black people recognize this stuff. You need the macaroni and cheese and yams to touch. Okay? And for me, it's the stuff like that that stands out. And that's how I know you understand good food. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I seen I was in the kitchen chefing it up and he was cooking, was you really capping that the food was good? Or was the food really what you were saying it was?
Okay, so here's the thing. And I'm going to give y'all the exclusive because I said this behind the scenes and I'm going to say it now. I told them, I said, listen, if this food nasty, I'm going to tell y'all. And I said, y'all can cut it, spin it however y'all want. I said, but I don't have a good poker face. I really don't. I try to have a good, I don't. And so I told him before we even got there, I was like, listen, if this food nasty, I'm gonna tell you it's an A for effort and it's a D for execution. That's what I'm going to say. And he knew that. So he was prepared to I think he was on his A game. But it was really good. And I was very, very impressed. His brother, Scotty's actually a person, he's a private chef, like a celebrity chef. So hit up Scotty Bonds if you really want the good, okay? But the fact that he reached out to his brother to get a recipe that he knew I would like and that he could actually execute, it made my heart melt because I was like, that's really sweet. Like, you could have just ordered a pizza. You know what I'm saying? I would have been cool with PF Chang's. I'm very simple. But the fact that you put so much thought and effort into our first, like, date-ish, I guess you could say, it really made me feel differently about him. And I was like, okay, let me pay a little bit more attention to Tall, Dark, and Handsome on it. Okay. But no, it was good. It was really good.
Okay, definitely. Well, I definitely felt like you were in control. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Abby was not. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm speaking for the fans, all right? I have to speak for the fans. And and listen, we definitely saw how you pretty much dominated what you wanted out of Kamari. And I don't even have to even ask you if y'all are together, because the way that you're talking about him right now, the way that fans, y'all even gotta ask her. Look at the way she's talking, look at the way that she's describing it. But just to confirm it, the fans do want to know, are y'all together?
Yes. Okay, let me say it with a straight face. Yes.
Like, that's super dope. I think that's a testimony that the show is not fake, right?
Mm-mm. No. Yeah, no.
Okay.
That
So
happened.
are y'all deciding to stay in Texas?
We did initially, and a little bit like a little bit after we decided to come back, like we were with our families for the break. I lost really two really close people to me that I didn't think that I would be able to live without, and um, his business opportunities started popping up for him in a city that was not Austin. And so we started to reevaluate together, and we started brainstorming, okay, what does that look like for us individually? What does that look like for us collectively? And we just decided that Austin would probably not be the best fit for us right now. And so, although my stuff is still in Austin, like literally my things are still in a storage unit in Austin, um, I don't think that I will be residing there permanently.
Okay.
But I'm floating between Orlando, Austin, LA, and Atlanta right now,
Okay.
doing business, networking, etc. And he's floating between New York, let me get this right, New York, LA, North Carolina, and I think not Austin, Houston. And so we're just like floating in really different circles right now. So long distance for us has been a doozy, but I think he's such an amazing man that I think it's worth it. So we're seeing where everything goes. Not Kiki said the storage unit.
Storage unit. Oh my gosh, the storage unit. I forgot. And I can hear it in his Kiki's voice. So let's talk about you and kind of like what it is that you want to do. Like, Kamari does the modeling. First of all, you need to be acting, you need to be modeling, you need to be doing all of that. Okay, it's definitely what you need to be doing. You could be a host. You're great at talking off the dome too. So you were meant for TV. But he got signed and he was able to kind of like flourish. I really feel like Kamari for the win. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went out there, he got signed, he got the girl, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like y'all still together and he's flourishing. But what's up with you? Like, do you want to actually make that step into, I saw you modeling for Isha's clothing line. So is that something that you're interested in doing?
Actually, Isha and Kamari have been pushing me to step into that realm. I tried when I was younger, but they said I was too short. And I think it was just because I was auditioning for like runway modeling. So they said no. But he was like, yeah, but I think you could definitely like, he was like, you got the look. And I was like, you just saying that because you like to kiss my forehead, but okay. And then Isha was like, Roxy, I actually think that you should definitely like try. And I was like, Isha, don't push me, girl, don't push me. And so I actually tried, and I actually got signed to an agency in Orlando for modeling.
Oh, yes, let's go. Good chain.
No, I'm just kidding.
Without,
Thank you.
without even trying. Let's go.
But yeah, that was a big step for me. I'm working on feeling more confident in my abilities, and I thank God for people like Isha, and I thank God for people like my baby, because they just pour into me, and it just reminds me that the sky is not the limit. The sky is like the starting point, and the stars are your playground. And so I'm really excited to tap into any and everything that I can get my hands on that tie into my purpose and make me feel like I'm doing something for the Black community. You know, being representation,
Yes.
being just like the voice for people who feel like they want to do what I want to do, what I'm doing, but don't necessarily have the opportunity. Like, that's really what I want to do. I want to be an advocate, because I feel like if there's a stepping stone, the people after me take off central. So that's what I'm really trying to do. So hopefully it's working. That's what I've been trying to do with like the hair, and that's something I really want to step into, like making our hair more acceptable, especially professionally, because I'm so tired of people saying like Black lawyers have the sleek buns because it's professional and it's sleek. My afro is professional, okay? And so I'm trying to make that a thing. And so it's slow progress, but progress nevertheless.
Progress, nevertheless. Well, do the damn thing. You got signed out here, so that's dope. Another fan must. Is there a season 2?
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I don't even know what I'm gonna have for breakfast tomorrow, and I'm meal prepped. So it's either overnight oats or avocado toast. We'll see how I feel when I wake up. No, I'm kidding. I actually don't know. They never tell us anything. I don't know. I hope so.
Okay, so you do. So you want it to be a season 2. Do you want it to follow all of y'all again, or do you want it to be like some like shakeups in the house? Do you?
I feel like whatever the people want to see, I hope they do it.
Okay. Ooh, I'm out of water. You know, but then what if Bruce wants to come back? So Adam is gonna have to be out?
If Bruce came back, we'd hear a lot more, let's go! And we'd have a lot less San Juans. I don't know. I feel like they would have to put all 9 of us in a house, or they would have to like add on another girl and make it like 10, 5 and 5 rather than like 5v4. So I don't know. That's up to Netflix. Y'all gotta petition Netflix and talk to them. I have no idea.
If they added another girl, she's gonna feel like the real outsider. That would be really bad.
Oh, absolutely not. We would make her feel so warm and welcome. Well, I would hope we would. I would.
I would hope we would. Y'all would. Y'all nice people. Y'all nice. Yeah. Shout out to just 20-something being one of the dopest reality shows on Netflix right now. And shout out to you for just doing this interview and being a sweetheart. You answered every question without any hesitation in your own honest way, and we appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
Thank you. Tell the people what you got working on or what you got coming up next that we should be on the lookout for.
I'm actually working on a clothing line, and it's very near and dear to my heart because I don't know anything about fashion. I leave that to my chocolate drop. He's the fashion forward one, but I have a clothing line dropping, and it just basically makes me feel like I'm working towards bridging the gap in humanity and making all walks of life feel closer to each other than they actually think that they are. And so that'll be coming sooner than later, maybe later than sooner, but it's in the works nevertheless. And outside of that, just look for me to always be in your corner. So, whoever you are out there, just know that I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. Keep living, keep thriving, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do as long as you believe in yourself and you believe that you can do it. So, yeah.
Okay, and there you have it from Raquel herself. Thank you so much for being an inspiration again to Black girls. And that's the last thing. Give us some inspirational words for the Black girls that's just trying to make it out here, that just need some positive wisdom. What you got to say?
I would love to tell every Black girl out there, look in the mirror every day, every single day, look in the mirror and know that you are worth it. Tell yourself that you are worth it. And every time you feel like shrinking to make someone else feel large, don't. You're doing all of us a disservice. The world needs you. You are important. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are smart. And you are needed. So I want you to be you unapologetically, authentically, and I want you to show up in this world exactly as you are, because that's what we need. We don't need anybody else. We need you, sis. Because can't nobody else be you, sis.
Okay? Yes. Tell them period.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for my sisters.
All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. Well, thanks again, Raquel, for coming on. And, we're going to definitely get Kamari on here to see if he blushing this hard about you. You're not going to be mad if I ask him no questions about other people, right?
Nah, he know where home is.
Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Raquel, appreciate you, Queen.
Thank you, my king. Have a great night, everyone. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Definitely. Raquel, everybody. All right, y'all. So that was Raquel. Boom, boom, boom. So that was Raquel, and from 20 something. Y'all already know who she is. I know what y'all tuned in for. Again, I am your boy Jersey. I do this interview every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Black Culture the Breakdown, where we tap into people that's doing dope stuff. But I do have a surprise. I am working on something that's bigger than, I feel like, just putting things in a box. I want to be more on a global scale and really tap into popular culture. So I got some surprises coming. I got some major interviews coming, and we definitely going to be going up. Please hit the follow button. I appreciate y'all. It's always love. Raquel, appreciate you. I'm out. Deuces.